What's up, guys? ALT Insider here, coming to you with another video about Endless Mode League Global Speedrun Association, otherwise known as GSA. Here, yeah, good weekend this weekend. Obviously, I'm watching. In the background will be ThaBeast versus LilKirbs, the marquee matchup last week. I'm not hiding anything. LilKirbs is a black screen there. As always, I like to point that out. I'm not covering anything. LilKirbs is the man. Yeah, he took down the match this weekend, right? That's something that a lot of people didn't expect. The numbers didn't expect that either. In terms of percentage-wise, average clears, ThaBeast was a full average clear ahead of LilKirbs. So the models had it about 65% chance that ThaBeast would win, 35% chance LilKirbs would win, and LilKirbs won. So how does that happen, right? How does this upset happen? Well, first, I mean, it's a very normal thing that can happen. It's not like LilKirbs has an average of two clears. He had an average of 7 clears himself. ThaBeast had an average of 8 clears. That's something normal that can happen in a game. It's very within the possibility of happening, at these skill levels, at these average clear levels. But, more specifically, what exactly happened this time around when these two players met? How did ThaBeast get taken down? And it's pretty clear what happened this time. Kind of neither player could get any momentum going. Not by level of their play, as you're going to see here. I don't know how long I'm going to talk, but if you watch the background, you can see they looked like they weren't playing well in the beginning, especially. They were all playing to their abilities, but the levels really weren't kind in terms of there's some like ThaBeast had a string of like 5 or 6 where you have to skip it levels, by meaning when you check the world record, it's 3 minutes, it's 2 minutes, it's 4 minutes, like you just have to skip it. And yes, they're the right decisions, but when you do that 4 times in a row, it does kind of weigh on you, right? It's like, oh man, am I ever gonna get my first clear? I'm 5 minutes in, I have 1 clear. What am I gonna do, right? And he said himself afterwards that it did start weighing on him, and it did kind of make him play less optimally later in the match, which you can see later in the match when he was making some unbeast-like plays. And unbeast-like decisions, especially, more than the plays. I think he didn't play like poorly. He did make some bad decisions, I think, later, or questionable decisions is a better way to put it, in terms of when to skip and when not to skip. Because I know I saw a few times when he was at 1 minute 30 level and he would play it when, if he was playing on top of his game, already had 5 clears in the books. Those are easy skips for a player like ThaBeast because he knows. One thing you can see here, in especially this first match, if you watch it back yourself, you haven't watched it yet. These guys do stick with that hard rule of, if you don't know where the ending is and you die and you don't know how to get there, you don't get any information, get out. Something that still a lot of the players aren't doing. I think really there's like 2 reasons to stick to a level. 2 reasons to stick to a level you die at, right? The first one is you know exactly what you have to do and you're confident you could do it next time. And the second time is, oh, you didn't do it fast enough, but you know exactly what you have to do, right? So, like, the path to the ending is there. Oh, you guys got it a little faster, right? And you feel confident you can do that. The other one is you know exactly what you have to do. Maybe last time you messed it up, but you know exactly what you have to do, and you can just go and do it. Those 2 things are the only reason I would do it. I would keep with a level that you've already died at. I wish every player would stick with that. Not everyone's at that level yet. More people are picking it up, though. Trihex is the best example of this in terms of any kind of difficulty in levels. He just skips it. Look at that skip by LilKirbs there. That was if I can go back to it, that was a pretty speedily skip there. I think I saw a 1 minute 10 world record that it's a skip, when most people would not skip. So back to the point. Just rambling here. Back to the point. Why did ThaBeast lose? 1 minute 40 world second. Excuse me. That's an easy skip there. So why did ThaBeast lose? Well, LilKirbs is good. That's the first thing you got to remember. LilKirbs is a good player, and he played well. The levels were kind to him, And I think that's something that's true. That the closer the skill level and the closer the skill and the playing style people are, the more of a role luck does play, right? Because instead of what happens when, like, say, ThaBeast plays someone like, I'm not going to name any names, but people that don't skip as readily, one person's doing the kind of optimal strategy, one person isn't. So even if they had the even skill levels, the person that's playing the optimal strategy is going to win more often, right? And that's just facts, right? But when you're playing something with equal skill level and is playing the same way as you, the same strategy as you of skipping aggressively, then it becomes more of a luck game, right? Now we get into the time where it's still luck. Now, it's still not close to 50-50 luck at all. It's still well within the realm of normal sports luck, because as we've seen by average clear count and stuff, is all very consistent. But it does become more luck. And, as I am strongly in team keep the rules, I do love this format, and I want to keep it for next season as well. It's important to note that, and just to be truthful, it does matter. Luck does play a bigger role when the players are playing the exact same way and they have comparable skill levels. Now let's talk about next season, right? Obviously, this league is getting good traction, lots of viewers, lots of attention, lots of YouTube views, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's going to make more players want to play. And if we've already said there's going to be some open spots, and we're going to have the GSA is going to have some playoff situations. Not exactly sure about how it's going to work out, but there's going to be a lot of 4 or so places each division, or more. I don't even know exactly, to have more players come in. And they don't have to be big names. They could be whoever. Just if they prove their skill, they can be in the league. I think that will have a situation where one of two things will happen. It will become more luck-based than it is now, still within the realm of normal sports, mind you, not anything close to what people claim it is. It may become more luck-based if those new players who seemingly have watched the whole league division, they understand the things, and they have the skills, it will be more luck-based then. Now, so what am I saying here? I'll get to the point eventually. Maybe for season 4, I might change it to be team change, because if all the players are of similar skill levels and they're all playing a similar way, then maybe it's time to change if it's kind of more into like who gets the best levels. Because it's not like that right now. And we can prove that through the average clear rates, the consistency of the average clear rates in many different ways, right? But let's say, I'm talking way far in the future here, but let's say season 3, right? We get some new players. They're all awesome players, kind of unknowns, but they're coming out. They've been, they've been in their local divisions, rocking and rolling, getting good, and they know the division. They've watched ThaBeast and the LilKirbs play and skip heavily and get high clear rates. They know how to do that already. Then what can happen? Well, I think 2 things can happen. Maybe there's a different way to play this, right? Maybe there's a next level of aggressiveness of level selection. Maybe we're wrong about if half the players go hyper aggressive. Maybe there is space for people to be not as aggressive and maybe take the more slow, less skip, side of things. You know what I mean? So like maybe that would be interesting for season 3. That maybe that could happen where if people say, well, if 8 skips per race is kind of the average, maybe if I go for 15 and just do only the shortest levels, like 30-second world records, maybe that can have good results. And then if that becomes a thing people do, maybe there's space for people to do the opposite of that. You know what I mean? So I think new kind of meta could form if like people try to change how they're playing right now. Because right now it's kind of, more than a minute you skip. The rules are kind of becoming clear of the efficient way to play, but maybe it's not the most efficient way to play. Maybe, like I said in my tweet a few weeks ago, my primer tweet, I want to see somebody try to be hyper-aggressive. Hyper-aggressive in skips, level selection, right? So I'm saying, like, anything above 45 seconds, get out. If you die and the goal is not right there, then get out. I'm looking at, like, someone that's kind of maybe has little chance of the playoffs. Maybe, Glitchcat or, Glitchcat, my boy, did a great commentator with him this weekend. I want to see him try that one week, just because I know he'd be up for it. Just try to be ultra aggressive in your skip and see what happens. And I think if that, maybe it does work out well, it might be a total joke and he gets 1 clear. Hey, I'm wrong. But I would like to see if someone tries to go hyper aggressive and see the results, compared to the normal results of normal playing. And then if season 2, like this becomes a thing, there'll be like a new meta of like, do you go the hyper aggressive route, the normal route, or the slower take your time route to get this clear? Because hyper aggressive turns to be not, it's effective when it works, but not effective when it doesn't work, like a Hail Mary pass kind of. Like if you're hyper-aggressive, sometimes you can get 8 clears easy if you get lucky with the levels, but you can also get 3, so it's kind of volatile. But like middle of the road, you always get a certain number, but if you go slow and steady, you might get, it'd be interesting to see how that works out. I'm not saying it's going to happen that way, but it'd be pretty interesting. But anyways, I don't know. I rambled a long time there, but ThaBeast lost this weekend. He knows why he lost. The best thing about ThaBeast is, and players of ThaBeast ilk and why people are good at stuff, is they don't blame other things other than themselves, right? Things out of your control, you don't blame. And he had a good thing on Discord. He said, watching back, I had a rough start, and I just got off my game, and I didn't play my best. And that says a lot about someone, It's so easy to say, oh, RNG wasn't in my favor, and that's why I lost. Oh, I feel RNG took this win away from me and stuff like that. And maybe that might be true, but that's not how you get better at something, right? That's not how you improve yourself if you just find someone else to blame, even though it could be a part of why you lost. But isn't it better to focus on things you can control? Because if you just put all the blame on something else, then what do you have to improve about yourself? Nothing, because it's not your fault you lost, right? That's the easy way to get around it. But real people that improve in things constantly are looking at themselves for things they can do better, even when they're the best. As ThaBeast is clearly one of the best. You know what I mean? So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Again, I'll have a primer thread coming out on Friday or Saturday about this weekend's events. The kind of hype match coming up this weekend is Blue Chocobo versus LilKirbs, both 8-0, so that should be pretty hype. I would definitely be commentating that one and a few other ones, of course. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments or in the Discord of GSA or Discord of My Insane Pace, which they both have Discord. So yeah, take it easy, stay hype.